Raila Odinga, you have about 80 to 83 members of parliament elected on the ODM ticket. Kenyans are watching you and they are telling you, please, we want you for the first time to come and give directions to your 80 members of parliament and tell them not to vote for the Esther Passaris bill when it comes to the floor of the house. That way, Kenyans will vindicate you, Kenyans will love you once again, and Kenyans will call you Baba once again, meaningfully. So Baba, if you're listening to this message, Kenyans have told me to tell you, very many of them, that we want you to come out and tell your 83 members of parliament to deny this bill the votes. That is done. Now, finally, to the question that you have asked. And as I answer that question, I'll tell my good friend here, Mheshimiwa, that sometimes Kenya loses a lot of money in demonstrations. So it's unfair and it's a bad place to be. But we lose a lot more during peaceful times. Unasikia e-Citizen imepoteza 15 billion, unasikia SHA imepoteza 104 billion. Yani, they want us to have peace so that we can lose more billions in times of peace than we lose even when we have turmoil. Now, CDF, NG, what does CDF do? If you come to my constituency, close to half of that money goes into something that I started a fight upon, and I'm happy it's being discussed in Parliament. Are you aware that you as truly Fanya Mambo Kinuthia was that young person who came on national TV on the 30th of January 2024 and spoke so passionately about bursaries? I'm the guy who started saying MC akona bursary, MP akona bursary, and I'm happy that that conversation was picked up by the senator for Kiambu. It went into Senate. It went into the National Assembly, where on the 23rd of August 2024, the Speaker of the National Assembly said very categorically that they are going to start having that conversation. It would emerge that Kenya spends 4 times more money on bursaries than it spends on actual capitation to schools and free primary education, such that if we scrapped this rubbish called bursary and put that money into education, it is actually possible to have free primary education. I'm glad there's a parliamentary committee right now, led by Junet Mohammed, discussing ideas that we brought out through a national TV show. What am I trying to say? As you try to entrench NGCDF and say that it's bringing development closer to the people, one of the things that NGCDF is doing is something that it should not be doing. Giving people bursaries. Unasikia kuna constituency na spend 30 million, 40 million, 50 million. And the truth is, if we amalgamate all these monies together through the Ministry of Education and channel it directly to the schools, we can literally make education free. And Parliament has ascertained that, Senate has ascertained that. So what we are trying to do is to entrench within the law mandates to Parliament that literally should have been, those are Ministry of Education mandates. Now we go to what CDF is doing today. The most important function I have seen CDF doing today is building classrooms. Literally, you could train a monkey to build classrooms. If the Ministry of Education was doing their work the way they should, we should not have a school that has got overcrowded children in classrooms. The Ministry of Education should have a way and a mechanism to see that there is a ballooning population and to have a plan that would make sure that every school is having expansion in classrooms. So if mainly they are doing security and education, because that's what they are doing. Now look at security. Where are we having members of parliament, like in my constituency, being the ones who are having some kitty to build police stations? The National Police Service is an independent outfit that is getting its own budget. So if we allowed the National Police Service to have its own autonomy, to be able to procure, to be able to build its own police stations, members of parliament would not be building police stations that we are doing. So when you think about NGCDF, it is just taking away the mandate of what other places, on other institutions and ministries of government should have been doing, and heaping them on a member of parliament so that he can be able to get away to be re-elected every other time he needs to be re-elected. Truth is, classes can be built by county governments, classes can be built by the Ministry of Education. Truth is, police stations can be built by the police because they have a budget and they can be allocated that budget. Why we have members of parliament coming and unasikia hii police station imejengwa na MP fulani is not making sense.
Okay. I know you've been a member of parliament, yes, and you've overseen CDF projects. Yes. The issue is that many people, and I know the argument will be how good CDF has done and how, and no one